Hi, I'm Eric Emmerich, and welcome to Bytes, the only show that gives you an inside glimpse at what's happening on the Purdue campus. For more than 25 years, a team of Purdue professors and extension specialists has been instrumental in cultivating a millennia-old practice into a thriving industry in the state of Indiana.
A good glass of wine is not just made by knowing how to grow grapes well and knowing how to make wine, but it's also very closely connected to enjoying it in good company by sharing memories of travels, of adventures, really making wine an experience.
The Purdue Wine Grape Team was established in 1991 after a legislative act that allocated a portion of the excise tax on wine sold in the state of Indiana to Purdue University to run a program to help the local wine industry.
The Purdue Wine Grape Team is an integrated team of extension specialists providing information to growers, to winemakers, really from the vineyard all the way to the glass.
The team is made up of specialists in viticulture, that's the science of growing grapes, enology, the science of making wine, and then on the marketing side. My specialty is viticulture, and really for a wine industry to succeed, whether it's California or France or wherever, Indiana, you need to find varieties that are well adapted to the climate of the region, and that's what we've tried to do.
I'm the professor of enology, so I'm the wine professor. My expertise is in the production of wine, and I do educate winemakers about how to improve any practice. I teach one of the largest classes in the College of Agriculture called the Wine Appreciation class. That's a class that's usually taken by 250, 300 students or so, and those are students that come from all majors. They get a whirlwind tour around the world of wine. Wine has been made for thousands of years, 8, 9, 10,000 years, and it's still pretty much made in the very same way.
The first thing is growing grapes and then harvesting those at the peak of what we want them.
We destem the grapes and then we crush them, crack the berries open, and then we either press them and ferment the juice if we want to make white wines.
If it's a red, you actually have to ferment the skins with the juice, because that's where the red color comes from, is from the skins.
So a very simple process, but again, the quality of the wine lies to a small degree in the skills of the winemaker, but to a large degree in the quality of the fruit. And the quality of the grapes depends very much on climatic conditions.
That's the biggest challenge to us, the climate here, the winter cold and then these hot, wet summers that we deal with. Not always, but that we typically have to deal with. And there are lots of varieties that tolerate it just fine. And so that's the key for us, is to identify those.
20 pounds per vine, that's pretty good.
We're really trying to help the Indiana wine industry grow, and not just in volume, but in quality and in profitability, and ways that have an impact on them, the people that run the wineries, grow the grapes.
There is no question that we would not be as big into viticulture or grape growing as we are today if it were not for the help of Bruce Bordelon in Purdue's program. I mean, there's no question about it. We are Oliver Winery, and we are just north of Bloomington on State Road 37. Oliver Winery was started in 1972 by my father, who was an IU law professor, who was also a hobbyist home winemaker. Well, I joined the winery in 1983. I think it was 7,000 cases in my first year as kind of full-time on scene, and this year we're at about 380,000 cases.
So when we started the program in 1991, there were 9 wineries in the state.
Now we have about 90 or so wineries, so the industry has been exponentially growing over the years.
We've been leaders across the Midwest in our research and extension efforts.
For the last 20 plus years, we have put on a large wine competition. That's an event where wineries and winemakers send in their bottles of wine.
It's international, so we bring in wines from all over the world.
So we have used the India International kind of as an indicator of how well our program is doing, how well the Indiana industry is doing, given the trophies that Indiana wineries have won over the years. We're actually quite proud of how we have helped increase the quality and the awareness of Indiana wines.
We have about 4 acres of research vineyards. Then once the fruit's harvested from our research trials, we have a full pilot winery here in the Food Science Building.
And so inside the pilot winery, there's our crusher to stimmer, several different kinds of wine presses that we use.
And so we have, full labs to do all the analysis.
We do wet analysis. We have 2 walk-in coolers in that lab as well. As an enology specialist, I do a lot of troubleshooting of wines. We offer a free analysis service to all Indiana commercial wineries. If an Indiana winery would send a wine that they're not sure about, we can send back recommendations or we can help them figure out the problem. Then we also have the enology library.
It's a very special place to have this medieval almost looking room in a modern scientific building.
The library has about 2,000 bottles of wine.
We also have about 1,400 wine books here, one of the most comprehensive wine book collections in the entire United States.
We can have small classes down here.
And taste wines with them, as we have a collection of wines that are 20, 30 years old. In other words, that are older than the students. And for them to taste those old wines and to talk about the history behind them, it's quite fascinating. There's no other food product that ages as well as wine.
I think our biggest accomplishment over the last 25 years has been nurturing this industry, producing high-quality fruit to make high-quality wines.
Altogether, I think we have established Purdue here as one of the centers for wine knowledge, if you want to call that, in the entire United States. We are a showcase for how Purdue, how the College of Agriculture can provide services that not just benefit the little wine industry here in Indiana, but really that benefit the general public, and that's really the main mission of a land-grant university.
Recent studies have measured the wine industry's annual impact on Indiana's economy at over $100 million. To find out more about the Purdue Wine Grape Team, visit the website on your screen. That wraps up another Boiler Bites. Be sure to check us out online at boilerbites.com. See you next time.